pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll call the meeting to order. The Opens Meeting Act is posted on the wall by the agendas. We'll begin with roll call.
Early wine.
As you know, the Hills Farm site is one of the sites that is currently being considered by Costco. To be able to annex the Hills Farm site, we have to find a bridge from the current city limits to the Hills Farm property.
I am just giving you a submission of objection in formal document for the record that you can read this for yourselves and you'll know. I'm wasting your time.
It's going to be your recommendation to City Council, not mine, not staff's, not the consultants. At the end of the day, y'all are going to put your stamp of approval on this product of work saying this is what we think is appropriate for the city of Fremont. If there's something in here you don't think is appropriate, that's what we need to talk about. Say something.
And so it's going to be $2 million probably to get it repaired. And so what we had to do is, we talked about at the last meeting, we had to declare an emergency. Then I found a section in the ordinance that says anything above 30,000 that we don't go through the process, we have to declare an emergency. This board needs to approve and affirm that we declared an emergency, and then it goes to City Council meeting next week, and they also affirm that we declared an emergency, bypassing the normal bidding process because we had to get it fixed and get it back online. We get reimbursed if they choose to move forward with it. They'll pay the $195,000, which is the contract, to make sure we get the engineering services done. And so, you know, it's in our best interest. It would be negligent of us to make our ratepayers pay for this. And so it's simply an agreement with Costco saying, hey, we haven't decided yet, but we're willing to spend some money up front so we make sure we can have water and wastewater there when they're in service state.
Shows auto urban commercial, the one you just approved. Pending one shows it all the future land use of commercial. The proposed zoning change to LI is it's consistent with all the property around it. What I mean by that is that everything to the west and south is zoned.
We're just going to receive the petitions, and then at some point
possibly, I don't know if we will today or not, so we'll have to set a hearing. So,
Because there will be no action on this
Right.
petition on the zoning issue.
Have to be a public, have to be advertised public hearing.
Thank you very much.
Here's, it's time to look at it again. We've stopped that study, simply waiting to determine if Costco is going to come or not. And as soon as they make that decision, we'll get going on the wastewater treatment plant. And so we will have to make improvements to the wastewater treatment plant with or without Costco.
Randy Rupert, 21 Owen County Road. I guess the question is, why did you stop? Why did you stop work on something that you already know you have to fix? I think it's pretty obvious you stopped because you're waiting for somebody else to carry the ball. Why don't somebody pick up the phone, tell Costco, give you the $195 up front to get the ball rolling if you're so worried about it? Why should we have to carry that kind of a cost? Thank you.
I don't know, because this is the first meeting I've been to, if there's been 3 bids for this engineering contract, but we're aware that HDR does lots of work with city and the state. They also do lots of golfing with our state senators and governor. So it would be a big concern if this was the only bid in front of you to do this type of proposal. And we've been down this path before. There was already a Supreme Court case where the state of Nebraska tried to cover a cost of a private company. You can't use taxpayer dollars to cover the cost of a private company, even if that private company is planning on paying you back.
I would submit to you that agenda item 19 raises more questions than it answers. The staff report indicates that Mr. Newton declared the need to repair Longy Right Unit Number 8 on a timely basis to be an emergency for the purpose of invoking Section 3-325, subparagraph 5 of the Fremont Municipal Code. This immediately raises the question of just what emergency might that be. Simply saying, I declare an emergency doesn't tell us anything. The city has obviously known for some time of the need to repair Unit Number 8 and get it back into service. The staff report itself indicates that the 2015-2016 capital budget includes $300,000 for Unit Number 8, and the 2016-2017 capital budget includes $3 million for Unit Number 8 repairs. Thus, the need to repair Unit Number 8 is not something that just came up. So it can hardly be classified as a quote-unquote emergency in any sense of that word. It is also not clear what is meant by getting Unit Number 8 back into service on a, quote, timely basis, unquote. That raises the question of what is meant by the phrase timely basis. Is there some written or unwritten deadline out there for getting Unit Number 8 back in service? If so, what is that deadline? And what is the factual basis for that deadline? Because, as indicated in the staff report, the city already had a timeline put together for the repair of Unit Number 8, where they wouldn't have had the inclusions of the expense items in the capital budgets. In that regard, I would respectfully submit that without answers to these questions, the council does not have a sufficient factual basis upon which to intelligently vote on agenda item 19. Thank you.
Thank you. Pretty much all of them were in favor of it. I think you had them in your back pocket. But once they started listening to the people of Nickerson, which is something I wish our council would do here in Fremont, listen to the people, they said no, we don't want it up there. And I wish you guys would listen to the people here in Fremont. We don't want it here. There's many reasons with TIF. I don't agree with the TIF at all. You say this is so great for Fremont. They're going to bring in this much money.
We need to keep it to this issue in regards to indemnity.
Then I just ask you what this was on for Costco.
Any other questions from the public?
Any questions of council or comments? Cast your votes.
With respect to the proposed reimbursement and indemnification agreement between the city and Costco, I would respectfully submit that consideration of such a contract is premature at this point. I believe the city is putting the cart way before the horse. The contract with HDR Incorporated is just for the planning and design of sewer and water lines to hook up the proposed chicken processing plant to the city, and it does not include actual construction costs. So the total package will cost a lot more than the $195,000 called for in the contract. And construction costs do not appear to be included within the phrase or within any reimbursement obligation that the contract will impose upon Costco.